What's up, everybody? This is Luke from Noble Photo LLC, joined here with the fantastic Rob, aka
Rob Jones.
just Rob Jones.
Just Rob Jones. Your boy RGZ.
RGZ. That's what I was looking for. Oh my goodness. I know that we've been saying things associated with things and stuff.
Stuff and things.
Things and stuff, like Rick Grimes on Walking Dead. Carl. But today we're doing something completely different, something completely unordinary. We have our podcast room completely set up here now. We're excited about it. It's wonderful. But we're going to break it in today with a hot sauce challenge. This is the 10 wings, 10 sauces. The first sauce, this is not so bad. The sixth sauce, I hate you. And the 10th sauce, what, Rob?
Why am I even here?
I hate my life.
Yeah.
Bury me. Okay.
Hopefully. I haven't had it.
I've
heard horrible things about it. I've never had it.
So basically what we're going to do here, we were going to have another podcast coming up here pretty soon about all the weddings that we've shot and stuff. But we had to do this because me and Rob are just complete obsessed with hot sauce. So we have these 10 wings, and we're eating these wings from Wing Street. Was it Pizza Hut, right?
Yes.
Which is fantastic wings, but we got them naked, just like the way I like to sleep. Which is the only way to do it.
I like my wings like I sleep.
I like my wings like I like to sleep. Naked. Oh my goodness. But so we're gonna get started. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be enjoyable. Not really. About the 6th or 7th sauce, you're gonna be crying, right, Rob?
No, man. Probably by.
You got talking to your mic, man.
Yeah. No.
You got it.
I would say by 8.
Here we go. We'll pull you a little bit.
8, 9, and 10.
There
Those
you
are
go.
gonna be the. Those are going to be the bad ones.
Gonna be the bad ones. Okay, cool.
1 through 7, good, some heat.
Man. So yes, the next podcast that you see will be me and Brianne talking about the, I think, 30 to 40 plus weddings that we shot in 2019. And what's crazy about all the weddings that we shot in 2019 is that Rob Jones here was one of our first clients that we ever had.
Back in 2016 was when you did our engagement photos.
2016 engagement photos. It had a baseball-themed engagement.
Yes.
It was awesome. The one shot that was probably my favorite was the one where you were holding the baseball and had your date on there. And
yes.
That was
4/22/17.
I almost shed a tear thinking about that. But you know, not today. Maybe.
No, well, we will be shedding tears later, but probably not for that reason.
Probably not.
At all.
Okay, so Rob and Chelsea, his beautiful wife, and also Rob now has a child by the name of Reggie.
It's his nickname.
Is his nickname? His name is, what's his name?
Robert Ewing Jones III.
Reggie. Yeah.
Reggie.
He's really cool.
Yeah.
He's a cool kid. We've had the privilege of shooting them a couple times with cameras. And without further ado, let's get this done.
Yes.
Let's do this. We have chocolate milk just in case, because chocolate soothes the body. Rob Jones has chocolate milk in his Star Wars inspired bucket.
Yes, that available in all AMC theaters. If you would like to go see The Rise of Skywalker.
Precisely. I love it. So I've already doused these wings in kind of a milder sauce that's not so terrible, but I love it. And it's actually on the table. I believe it's sauce number 7. Number 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
No, we're starting here.
Starting there on the okay.
7.
So there's really no rules on how we do this. Here's what we probably should do. We should probably put the throw up bucket or the wing bucket right here and like go ahead and douse it down and then eat one and then you eat one. Or we can, you know what? No, look at this. We can have 2 bowls. What are we talking about, Rob Jones?
Yeah, dude. We could.
I mean, like, come on, dude. Okay, so here's my first wing right here, and I don't have any like paper towels, so just wipe on your pants, right? Oh, look at that. That's so.
I'm like a Boy Scout, man.
You're so amazing. Okay, so
you can tear it in half.
You can tear it in half if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. There's no rules. We're not judging. Yeah. Thank you, Rob Jones.
Lucas Thornton.
Yeah. So I want you to go first because you're my guest.
Sure, bud.
So the first sauce that came from where?
Pepper Palace. It's Kentucky Charge Chipotle Bourbon Hot Sauce.
Okay, we got that from what was it? I'm totally drawing a blank. Opry Mills Mall. That was before Christmas. Went up there on a Wednesday. Yeah. Oh! You're making it bleed. That's terrifying.
No.
I'm gonna have some.
Sauce number 1. It's gonna be fun.
It'll be fun. Sauce number 1.
I'm gonna eat this real close to the microphone for all the ASMR folk out there that like to listen to sounds.
ASMR. It sounds
mouth noises.
What did you think about it? Pretty good sauce.
It's bourbony.
Ooh. It's like when I first tasted it, had like a cherry taste to it. You know?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
I can't say I'm in love with it. It kind of has a little bit of vinegar. A little bit more so than I would like. It says this is a chipotle sauce. It's okay.
It is a little heavy on the vinegar, for sure.
Yeah. Kind of a bit overpowering. All those mouth noises, they're beautiful.
Also, which Luke didn't mention, we're also here to talk about and dissect various Star Wars aspects.
Yes.
Specifically the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, The Rise of Skywalker, which was, and I'm just going to keep it real.
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
It was solid.
It was solid, but it wasn't great. Now, you can tell me why you think it was great, and I can tell you why I think it was not. So first off, I'm going to give you the floor there, Mr. Jones.
Sure.
So let's just share with me some good stuff.
All right, spoilers ahead, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't seen the movie, 1, what's wrong with you, and 2, there's no 2.
There's no 2.
So let me fix my head.
You can fix your headbands.
My headbands.
Your headbands.
Yeah, man, I thought it was a really good movie. I thought that it did some justification to some errors that were made in The Last Jedi, namely Rian Johnson's spitting on of Luke Skywalker's character.
I agree.
Disrespect of the Jedi. I thought it did justice there. I was glad to see Palpatine come back, as much as you want to say that he was back.
Yeah.
Would I have done some changes? Yes. Would I have, done things differently? Yes. But I thought that it was, the lightsaber battles were great. I thought that the, wrapping up of various character arcs was done well. And all in all, I thought it was a great ending to the Skywalker saga.
I think it was too. I think it was, just off the top of my head, I think it was a good ending to it. But I will say this: I still think that it's very divisive when you start talking about the newest Star Wars, because you ever heard somebody say that, like, you pee up the creek, when you're down the creek, it doesn't sit well because you're downstream, And I kind of feel like that is what happened with The Last Jedi. I think that Rian Johnson, as the director, messed it up really bad. But then he, that was it. But then you had J.J. Abrams come in, and actually he replaced the director that they had picked because of the fan outreach over The Last Jedi. You know about that?
The big reason for that was the mistreatment of Luke Skywalker's character.
Exactly.
And we're gonna jump to the Last Jedi.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. So that was initial.
Grab another wing, man. Let's do number 2. Why not? Or number 2.
Let's all go number 2.
Number 2. So you can load yours. I'll load mine.
This is the Last Stab Chile de Arbol edition from the Heatonist.
So it's not as hot as
the cousin to the number 10.
Yeah, the long lost cousin.
It's a much smokier flavor.
It's a dead.
It's smoky.
Smoky, baby. Oh me, the podcast room is wonderful.
Puts
we love
the cheese in my grits.
Okay, cheese in the grits.
Yeah.
Okay, you look like you're going to town on that wing.
This is a very tasty sauce.
Okay, I'm excited. Let's. I'm just gonna dab it. I put too much dabs. Whatever, it's all good. We're gonna eat it up. Here we go. Oh my goodness, so much better than that sauce.
That's very good. It does have a little burn on the back end.
It's okay. That's what this is made for.
But when you're on number 2, if you don't have a burn on the back end, you've probably been doing your hot wings challenges the wrong way.
Yeah, man. When I'm on number 2 tomorrow, I'm going to be burning pretty bad. To be completely honest with you, it's not a fun place to be. But either better out than in, right, Shrek?
Absolutely.
You put Shrek, right? Shrek, the movie.
What about him?
He says better out than in.
Donkey.
Come on, donkey. What's really cool about Shrek is that it's got Eddie Murphy in it. Eddie Murphy's got a serious career resurgence, He was on SNL last week.
Oh, I did hear about that. I heard he killed it.
He did. He killed it. He did great. Eddie Murphy saved SNL back in the 80s. In the 1980, I believe it was. Like
I hadn't heard that.
It was really bad. Like, it was so. Speaking of good, this sauce is amazing, man.
Shout out to Wing Street. These wings are dope.
Oh, no, man. Anytime you're like, this just has the right amount of bread on them too. One of my buddies said that Wing Street doesn't have it has too much bread on it. I'm just like, dude.
Haters. Yeah. We actually went out of order because you had me screwed up over here because we didn't put it in, so we went from 1 to 3.
You know, and that was what happens though. You know, so
you know,
I'm in love with that sauce.
We're not here to be perfect.
Getting back to the conversation at hand though.
Yeah. Last Jedi.
Yeah.
You know, pooping on Luke Skywalker's character. Cause,
upstream.
Yeah. You know, the way of the Jedi. You know, especially at the beginning of the movie of The Last Jedi when Rey hands him the lightsaber, he picks it up, he's like, throws it over his shoulder and walks away.
Yeah.
And then one of the things that J.J. Abrams had to fix was in the Rise of Skywalker after Rey takes the Starfighter and she steals it from Kylo, and then she goes to that planet where Luke was hiding out, and she burns it. She takes the lightsaber, Luke's lightsaber, Anakin's lightsaber, throws it into the wreckage. Yeah. And then who's there? But Force Ghost, Luke Skywalker picks up and says, "That is not the way to treat," or the weapon of a Jedi deserves more respect.
It's so true.
After the previous movie, he took it, he was like, threw it over his shoulder, didn't care. Like, now he's got to change. Yeah, now he's got to change the part. So part of that was J.J. Abrams having to fix the mistakes of Rian Johnson. I wouldn't have killed off Luke Skywalker.
Never.
I don't know if I would have killed off Han. That was a creative decision made to help push Kylo supposedly further to the dark side, but I would have wanted to see Luke take on Palpatine is what I would have wanted to see.
Yeah, and that's the way I think that's what he should always been too. I think with Rey and Kylo, with such integral characters to the plotline, still I don't think they're up to snuff or ready truly to fight Palpatine, and they did, but that's why it felt, in my opinion, kind of fake, kind of offsetting, because it was like, oh wow, you just 2 movies ago learned that you had the Force inside of you, and now you're throwing Sith lightning out of your fingertips. She
is a Palpatine, so I would say it comes. She's more attuned to the Force than your average run of the mill.
Yeah, the dark side.
Force sensitive.
Yeah, definitely. Metachlorians.
And I do want to go because people throw some tiffs around about her being as strong as she was.
Yeah.
Especially in the Force Awakens when she fights Kylo at the end.
Yeah.
I have been pondering over what my theory is as to why she seems so strong, and I don't think she was. In that fight, people say that Kylo lost and Rey won.
Yeah.
Kylo lost. Did Rey win? No, those are 2 separate things.
Exactly.
Because Kylo had seen something in her. He wanted to turn her. He wasn't fighting her to kill her. He sensed a connection. He was fighting her to try to bring her to the dark side. Whereas Rey, she was fighting to kill him. So I think as strong as Kylo was, he was having to restrain himself in order to not hurt her, so he could attempt to turn her. In addition, he had an abdomen wound from Chewie shooting him with the bowcaster after he killed Han. Somehow Finn was able to get a shoulder stab on him, and then in the fight leading up to that with Rey, you could tell that Kylo had the upper hand. He was just deflecting, and then Rey's able to possibly injure his leg, but also injures his other shoulder. So he's got 3 to 4 different body wounds at that point.
So true.
And he's also trying to fight defensively. So I think that's why Rey seems so much stronger than him in The Force Awakens.
Yeah, but one thing that I want to bring up is the fact that while it's kind of sucky, to be honest with you, because the whole Skywalker saga originates from Palpatine, if you think about it, because he's the one who made Anakin from his own, ability of knowledge of the Sith.
Lucasfilms has actually said just recently that Palpatine is not Anakin's father. He did not influence the Force, but the Force just created this being that it needed would have to be there to help balance the Force. Because there was some theory out there that Palpatine actually manipulated the midichlorians, and he's actually the one that created Anakin because he knew he would want that apprentice. That was a huge theory that was out there, but Lucas has actually come out in about the past week and debunked that and said that it wasn't Palpatine.
That was my knowledge. I was thinking that was... He didn't physically, have Anakin, like in the Bible, the Holy Spirit, and Mary,
virgin pregnancy.
So that didn't happen. That's been debunked.
I do want to preface some of this by saying I'm not a Star Wars expert. I'm a Star Wars enthusiast.
I am too.
So if some people end up listening to this, they're like, well, that's not correct because A, B, C, and D, so this guy's not right. Well, I'm saying now, I might not be right all the time. I love this.
No, we're wrong and right, and it's
Yeah.
okay. One of the most beautiful parts of being a fan of anything is knowing when you're right, but also knowing when you're wrong and owning it.
And then also not caring sometimes.
Yeah.
Just this is my opinion.
It's not real life.
It's not, no. It's Star Wars. Unlike wrestling, Star Wars is not real.
Oh, snap.
It's real to me, damn it.
Yeah. All right, next wing, what we got?
We got the classic.
I'm so eager to try that, man.
This is just like a really mild buffalo sauce.
Dude, I'm so
about
excited.
out of it, so we can finish it off tonight.
No worries.
You do yours.
You do a little bit of something on there?
You can go a lot bit on that. That stuff's good, boy. You can eat that all day long.
Okay, here we go.
Put that on your pizza. Put it on your burger. Just straight drink it.
That is good. That's tasty, man. I'm terrified of what's coming, though.
You should.
You got your notes, man. I love this. You're like that lady on The Walking Dead that brings her notes, and she has like a book.
I do want to comment on how I think Cabo came up with his name.
Please do.
He took the two names that were most important to him, Skywalker Solo. KY from Skywalker. LO from Solo. Kylo. That's how I came up with it. That's my opinion.
Hey. Huh. Dude, that's a good sauce. That's one of those, hey, let's go eat some wings. And let's not worry about burning ourselves.
Just toss them in this.
Let's just go eat some food. You know what I'm saying? I'm hungry. I need to eat. Now the heat on these wings have went off, man. They're not as hot from a temperature standpoint as they were. You know what I'm saying?
They still eat and they still taste
They
great.
still taste good. In case you're just joining us, thank you so much for watching the one of the last podcasts of that's crazy.
No, that's
the podcast of 2019. We are actually recording this in our and me and Brand's what is this, podcast room?
Podcast room.
Yeah, got a little bit of an echo in the background. We're going to take care of that in the future by putting some more sound editing information and stuff on the walls, and we'll go from there.
It's really sweet in here.
I like it.
Setup he's got.
I'm proud of it, man. I'm trying to get there, and sooner or later we'll have it all set up like I want to. But hey, small steps, Ellie. What's that from?
It's from that thing.
No, what movie is that from? Small Steps, Ellie.
Oh, it's from that one movie with the people that did the stuff at that one place.
It's called Contact. Jodie Foster.
I've never seen that movie.
Really?
Have you seen Twister?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Isn't that Jodie Foster?
No. Yes. No.
I don't know.
Helen Hunt.
Why are you getting
Her
too?
Why are you getting Helen Hunt confused with Jodie?
Because in my mind, Jodie Foster's Helen Hunt.
Happens all the time. It's called the butterfly effect. Is what it is.
Oh yeah. It's when you think somebody's
Yeah.
It's when you misremember one actor with another.
Or the Mandela effect. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like you think Nelson Mandela's dead, and I think he is, but I'm still having problems thinking if he is or not. It's weird, dude. It's a real thing.
It's worth a Google.
It's worth a Google.
It's worth a Google.
But my fingers are kind of dirty, and I want to grab another wing.
Let's do that. Let's move on to this small batch fermentators heartbeat hot sauce.
That's some good stuff right there.
Pineapple habanero.
It's about time to order some more, though, isn't it?
It is.
Getting down the last dab.
We had this before the show, and it is tasty,
dude. This is where it's at, man. Everything's all recording. I'm so proud of this stuff, man. Yeah, it's good stuff. I like how it's got a nice squeeze bottle.
It's all about portion control.
I'm the last person to know what this is. It's good stuff, man. Thanks for joining us. I feel like on Rhett and Link, you watch the Good Mythical Morning when they're biting into stuff. You can hear all the sounds with the mouth and stuff.
Like that?
That sounds kind of
Sexy?
Yeah, that wasn't the word I would use, but hey, since you're bringing it out, let's do it, man. I love this stuff, man.
Let's jump ship a little bit. We go to the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. What's up with that?
Man, it's a great show.
I love it. I'm obsessed with Baby Yoda.
So we watched the final episode tonight,
Yes, we did.
and the Moff at the end, where you might be led to believe that he died in his TIE wreck, his TIE fighter wreck, he did not.
Yeah, I wonder what's up with that.
He survives, cuts his way out of his TIE fighter, with the darksaber.
A black lightsaber.
Those of you who do not know, the darksaber
Ooh, it's hot.
is a saber that was created by one of the only, if not the only, Mandalorian Jedi. And then once he died, retired from the Jedi, whatever, the darksaber became a symbol of power for the leader of the Mandalorians. You know, they have various clans, so whichever clan leader was the leader, the lightsaber was there. You know, it was symbolic.
Got it.
Symbolic. Over the years, it has been used by other people besides Mandalorians. It was used by Darth Maul after he regained use of his legs, or went to Dathomir, and Mother Tarkin regrew his legs or gave him cybernetic legs, etc. We'll move on from that different story for a different time. But he used it when he took over Mandalore. It was then lost when Darth Maul fought Darth Sidious.
Ooh.
And Darth Sidious beat him, and I don't know what happened with the lightsaber at that point. I don't know. Then in the Rebels cartoons, Ezra Bridger stumbles upon Darth Maul, and Maul has the lightsaber at that point. Ezra Bridger gets it. He gives it to the new Mandalorian leader, which would be taking place after Order 66. So it would have been after Revenge of the Sith, or not Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, it would have been after Revenge of the Sith, but before A New Hope. And what we're watching now, The Mandalorian takes place after Return of the Jedi. So a good 35, 40 years later, probably. So where all it's been since then, I don't know.
It's everybody's thinking to themselves like, oh, this is really, really old because Baby Yoda is Baby Yoda. It's not really Baby Yoda in as much as it's a relative.
It's I think the reason people call it Baby Yoda is because Lucas has never come out and said what Yoda's race is called.
Exactly.
So people
because he probably doesn't know.
It's referred to as Baby Yoda or Yoda's race. Yeah. These beings are.
Dude, I'll be honest, man. I feel like George Lucas, just keeping it real, this is really disrespectful, but I feel like George Lucas made Star Wars pretty much as a money grab. That's all it was.
I mean, I think
revolutionary, something different. Let's think outside the box, and it kind of blew up, and he kind of tried to own it more so with the prequels, and the prequels sucked.
I disagree. I thought the prequels were phenomenal.
No,
I see, because I grew up with the prequels. When the prequels came out, I remember going to see it at Windsong in Rivergate with my dad and my brother when we went to go see the Phantom Menace. When that came out, I was about the same age as Anakin Skywalker would have been in.
So you could relate to it.
Yes, and that's when I became a Star Wars fan, became watching the trilogy more, and so I grew up during that time and I loved it. I thought the prequels were phenomenal. I
just think they don't age well, just like regular. Well, here's the thing: original Star Wars. Okay, I don't know if you knew this or not, but like Star Wars, the fourth one, the fourth episode, which would be the first one, Star Wars: A New Hope. That movie, that episode, actually won an Oscar. Okay, and Congressional Film Vault, the Library of Congress, said, as an honor to this movie or whatever, we want to have that copy of that movie at the Library of Congress. Now here's the catch. George Lucas at the time had already finagled his way and did some things to it, and made the special editions. And right now, as we sit, unbeknownst to anybody, there is no original copy of A New Hope anywhere. Now, there have been fans to take it off the VHS from when it was first released way back in the day and stuff, but no official, this is the exact movie, and it's yet to be given to the Library of Congress. Because it's been, just go watch it. Go watch it on Disney Plus. It's terrible. When you see Han Solo having the conversation with the big guy, what's his name?
Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt. That wasn't even intended to be in the movie, but now it is. It's just like, just keep it original.
I think that for its flaws, I think you have to take the movie at its creation time as well. Special effects.
But I think it holds up even today with the old 1970s.
It's still great.
It's fun to watch.
When you see Luke holding the blaster, with two hands, all garbly, gooky, and then R.I.P. What's his name? Who original Obi-Wan?
Alec Guinness.
Alec Guinness. When he holds his lightsaber, he's holding it. Here's the lightsaber. He's holding it like this. It's so rigid, and so.
At the time, they had no idea what they were using.
Well, they were basing it off fencing at that time.
Yeah,
but just technical things. But otherwise, I thought it was a great movie. You see the more farm boy Luke, and I think that The Force Awakens, I think it mirrors the original trilogy, and that you've got Rey, who's nobody from nowhere, who doesn't know anything about her past, who she is, finds out that they have this power.
That's true.
And then you have The Empire Strikes Back, jumping to The Last Jedi, where you've got Kylo Ren. They're chasing after the Resistance or the Rebels to blow them up and to fight them. Just as you've got Palpatine rising to power, and then the Rise of Skywalker. Concludes it. Evil is vanquished. Palpatine is vanquished in both Return of the Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker, which I have a problem with the name Rise of Skywalker. For those of you who haven't seen it, I don't think Kylo Ren gets nearly enough screen time.
I don't either.
Seeing as how after Leia distracts Kylo long enough for Rey to stab him, she then gives up her life. Now the only Skywalker blood left in the whole galaxy is Kylo Ren. And you see him 2 more times in the rest of the whole movie after that.
It's not enough.
It's
terrible.
It's terrible. And then Rey, she uses Force Heal to heal him and that's how he doesn't die when he takes a gut.
Hey, what's up with that? That's the first time we've seen that.
Force Heal, especially in Knights of the Old Republic and your other Jedi, your old Star Wars movies, that is a light side ability.
Yeah.
Which is why Kylo would not have been able to use it on himself, because he was a dark side user. It's only available to light side users. And people say, well, how would she know that? Well, before the whole tree got blown up in The Last Jedi, she took the Jedi texts with her, and she probably read it through there, read about the ability, and was able to use it from that point. Mm-hmm. So I think that's how she knew to use it. That's how she was able to use it. But then, spoiler, Kylo dies too. And so at the very end, you see Rey. She's back on Tatooine at Luke's old house, his uncle's house, where she buries Luke's lightsaber and Leia's lightsaber.
Because Leia's a Jedi too. Newsflash. Spoiler alert.
Darth Vader's his father. She's not. It'd be surprising if she wasn't.
Yeah. And
so she buries him, and then some old lady's like, "Oh, no one's been here for a while. What's your name?" She says, "My name's Rey. Rey Skywalker." And I'm like, ugh. Because she looks off from the distance and she sees the Force ghosts of Luke and the Force ghosts of Leia, and they're like, yeah, it's all good. She should have said, no, my name's Rey Palpatine. Own the last name. Own who you are. Be your own person.
Yeah. Didn't like that stuff. Oh, this is good sauce.
This is Los Calientes.
This is their summer sauce, right?
Sure.
Oh man, it gets stupid.
It's getting up. This is one of my favorites, I think.
Yeah, that definitely. That's why there's none in the bottle. You've been sucking it dry. They're still recording? Yes, it is.
Yeah, buddy.
Woohoo! Yeah, I love this, man. This is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars. Oh, Star Wars, and also chicken wings. That was a good wing.
That was a good wing.
One of the foundational things in the movie that I love the most, though, probably that rectified a lot of the negative, was that it doesn't matter who you're born to be or what you're born into. You can decide who you want to become.
Yes.
And for Rey, spoiler alert, Rey is a Palpatine. She is Palpatine, the Emperor, the terrible Emperor. It's in all the movies. She's his granddaughter, and his sole mission in the movie is to put his spirit into her body, pretty much. Yes. And then we can get to what happens, which I hate, by the way. I think it's stupid, but I think that her deciding, at the end, spoiler alert, she's good.
Yeah.
I think that was beautiful, because she said, you know what? Even though I am a Palpatine and I'm using I'm related to this terrible individual, and I can use these terrible dark side things, which as a Palpatine, and actually part of this, she could do Sith lightning, which is not a Jedi thing.
No.
But what's great and intriguing is that you see the dark side in her turning light. So the question is, was she a dark side user at the time?
Well, we've seen Anakin.
She got mad when.
We've seen Anakin use dark side powers before he was actually turned into Vader. Not the Phantom Menace, in the Clone Wars. Clone Wars, the second one.
Yeah.
When he finds out that the Sand People have his mom.
Yeah.
He doesn't necessarily use dark side powers, but he turns to the dark side. He goes and he kills everyone there, and you can see it a lot. Also in the Revenge of the Sith, which is my favorite Star Wars movie, is Revenge of the Sith of the prequels, Episode 3.
Oh, definitely.
Is my favorite.
Absolutely.
When he's fighting Dooku, and you can see that he has to use the dark side to get stronger. Mm-hmm. He cut Dooku's head off, and you see he turned to the dark side. He turned to the dark side to get those powers, but he wasn't actually turned to the dark side yet. So Rey may have tapped into it, and when she first used it, when she was on the planet with, where she thought that Chewie was on the transport, that she thought she'd blow up. Fun fact: on this planet, they were having a festival that took place every 42 years. Mm-hmm. This year's the 42nd anniversary of Star Wars, so that was intentional. A little Easter egg there. Huh. But as this transport flies off, and Rey thinks that Chewie's on it, so she reaches out with the Force to grab it. This is Los Calientes, but that uses a different pepper in it. This one uses a.
What's this one got in it?
This one uses a green serrano.
This one is red jalapeno habanero. Ooh, okay, habanero. We're getting to the habaneros. That's like 30 to 50,000.
It's definitely hotter. But then, granted, in this one, you can definitely tell that Rey is not the superior fighter or Force user to Kylo. Kylo is definitely stronger than her in this movie. But Kylo uses the Force to hold on to the transport. And so Rey, in her frustration, uses Force lightning without knowing that she had the ability to do it, blows up the transport.
And I believe she knew that Chewie was not on that transport, too.
She thought he was.
But I think she knew, but she didn't know. And now here's the reason why she did know. She went ahead and blew it up because she was mad. But at the same time, the reason why she didn't know. Oh, look at that. Look it up, buddy.
I'm on camera. I'm just sitting here like, look at this bottle like a dang savage.
Oh, no, you are savage. That's great.
Yeah.
You're Rob Jones.
RGZ.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I think she.
Bite that wing and then have this conversation. That's definitely a step up.
Come on, man.
Definitely.
Oh,
I get slow, bro.
I hate habanero sauce, Rob Jones. I hate it. Oh, dude, I have never liked habanero sauce. I freaking hate the way it tastes. I don't like habaneros. That's hot.
It's got some kick, I mean.
Oh,
I'll make you smack your mama.
Screw my life, man. Oh, dude, this sucks.
Can you take a lap?
I ain't taking a lap. Oh, dude. No. Oh, man.
See, I think we're going to backtrack a little bit on this number 7 sauce. And then it's just to step right up and we're going to... Those three are going to burn us.
Dude, I'm not happy about this. Oh, hot. It's just that habanero heat, man.
Fun fact about The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill has been noted saying, in a quote somewhere, that he wasn't happy with the way that The Last Jedi was done, but that was not my Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
It reminded him more of a Jake Skywalker, similar to Luke Skywalker, but not his actual Luke Skywalker. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of the reason why I think fans didn't like this, because he was so recluse. And so, the Luke Skywalker we know at the Return of the Jedi was that helped defeat Palpatine with redeeming Anakin Skywalker. Afterwards, he went on to, if you've read the comics and stuff like canon comics, that he became one of the greatest Force users ever.
Ugh.
He could probably take on Goku and Superman at the same time and take both of them.
Who is this?
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
After Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
He ended up building his Jedi Temple, the Luke Skywalker Jedi Temple, training this new era of Jedi. And then he goes, and because Ben Solo, he since Darkseided him, he couldn't redeem him, just went and became this recluse. I've turned myself off to the Force, yada, 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 and just a giant pansy, spit on the face. And just wasn't a big fan of that. Which is part of the reason why I think that Solo tanked. Because Solo was a great movie, if you ask me. You know, I think the actor that did Han was great. The movie, the storyline was great. But I think because it came out after The Last Jedi and so many people had bad taste in their mouth because of The Last Jedi was why Solo didn't do well.
I think you're right. I think Solo came out after.
Solo came out after Last Jedi.
Last Jedi. So yeah, people were not happy with it. But dude, honestly, the Star Wars movies, dude, seriously, hold on. Oh. The Star Wars movies after The Last Jedi, dude, I can't even talk. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Well, while you're composing yourself, for you fans out there, more fun facts. So there. Couple of things. First of all, Luke Skywalker. How did Maz come into, possession of his star?
That's a good question.
The new visual book that came out after The Last Jedi, and it's a very mundane story as to how she got it. After Luke's hand was cut off by Vader in Sky City, it was picked up by a scavenger who, in the realm of where planets are situated and how neighboring planets are, the planet where Maz's cantina is and where the planet where Sky City is, they're pretty much in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, but they never answered that in the movie.
They don't in the movie, no. You have to read the visual book.
Stupid.
So Scavenger came across of it, and then eventually
for another time.
Eventually it came into Maz's possession, and that's how she got it. But in the comics, everyone thinks that Ben blew up the Luke's Jedi Temple. He didn't. Mm-hmm. After Luke attacked him, or had his momentary lapse of judgment, and Kylo pulled the shack down on him, he went. And he was going to go kill more Jedi, but he saw that the temple was on fire. He did still have some friends there. He wanted to save them. So as he rushed towards it, similar to Yoda usually bringing the lightning down in The Last Jedi to light the tree, Snoke, who was controlled by Palpatine, blew up the Jedi temple. So it wasn't actually Kylo that blew up the temple. Even though he may have claimed that he did to Luke, he didn't actually do it.
So, while it's getting hot...
Pepper Palace, Fusion, Ghostly Garlic Hot Sauce.
So while we're still talking...
You better compose yourself, bud, because this last time...
I know it's about to get crazy, and I'm terrible at this. I'm about to lose my religion.
Don't say nothing Jesus foot, man.
Yeah. Oh, no, I've said too much. I've said enough. Who sings that? That's me in the corner.
Luke Thornton?
No, dude, it's REM, man. What's wrong with you? You don't. That's that's the second thing I've asked you about, like just counterculture, collective. Like
I'm not an Encyclopedia Britannica,
and you're not like you're dropping the ball. Love you, Rob Jones, but
love you too.
We have to do more. You got a little something on your chin, bro. Here, come here. It's a thing. See that? It's a fuzz.
Fuzz on my fuzz.
Anyways, okay. So I'm just gonna be real quick. And I'm gonna ask you a question, and you're gonna answer it. And I'm gonna tell you what mine is before you whatever do your thing. You know what my favorite Star Wars movie is? You're not gonna believe this. Is gonna blow your mind.
Phantom Menace.
Nope.
Which
one?
Mm-hmm. I already said mine's Revenge of the Sith.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Rogue One.
Rogue One of the standalones was a phenomenal movie,
dude. I will tell you this: Rogue One, it blew me away, and here's why it blew me away. Just a nobody becoming somebody. A nobody.
That's the Star Wars thing.
But like all that, we're talking about somebody that's beyond nobody. Complete no Force user. Nobody.
Jyn Erso.
Mm-hmm. Just because of her, the Empire fell. Because of the Death Star.
Well, and she did help get the transmission of Leia. Which I love the very last scene when Darth Vader busts in and starts killing everyone as they're trying to get the transmission out, which is like one of the first scenes in A New Hope. So it's really good. I really like that movie. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It just reminded me of of a real soldier, in the army just a service member, like what they'll go to defend freedom, and it's just the amazing the story that was told of how they went about getting those plans They knew they were about to die, and they still got those plans.
Man, it was
To
a
the
very,
Republic.
I think both Solo and
Republic,
Rogue
right?
One.
Is the good guys. Republic.
Yeah. No, yeah, the Republic.
He goes, I am the Republic.
Yes.
He's not.
I mean, they're great movies. Fantastic movies.
Resistance, yeah. Okay, Rob Jones.
We are moving on to the final 3.
It's the final countdown.
What song is that?
I don't know.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce this one that we're doing now?
Okay, so out of the 3 last sauces, one I'm very familiar with is called the Last Stab. It's the hottest pepper sauce that Heatonist makes, my understanding. We're also having black garlic, Carolina Reaper, which the story behind Carolina Reaper, basically Ed Curry, which is a crazy pepperhead from South Carolina or North Carolina, one of the Carolinas, developed this pepper by crossbreeding a chili and also, I believe, a scorpion pepper or the whatever. He put them together. Oh, I hate that pepper, dude. I really don't want that crap. Anyways, and the process of crossbreeding peppers is pretty intense. You have to basically fertilize. What is it? There's a flower right there on the TV. The stamen is the stamen.
It's the stamen.
The stamen gets the sperm and they put it on there from the other flower. See, that's what happens right there. You see it?
It's magic.
It's crazy how that TV was doing that as we were talking about how to crossbreed peppers. It's pretty cool stuff, man. But yeah, and he made the hottest pepper in the world, Guinness Book of World Records. Yeah. It clocks in at 3 to 5 million Scoville units of heat. Now, if you're not familiar with what Scovilles are, Scovilles are basically how hot something is. So jalapeno peppers are anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000 to $7,000.
And this
5,000
is 1,200.
Yes, 1,200.
This one's 1,200. I know this. This one's 1,200.
So Carolina Reaper is about 300 times hotter than a jalapeno, which is just stupid. It's awful. So we're gonna do it. So let's do it.
So this one's the Bravado Spice Co. Black Garlic Carolina Reaper.
Screw my life.
The world's hottest pepper, savory black garlic, and a hint of sweet maple. This hot sauce will shake you to your core. Brace yourself.
You go first, and I'll go after you.
I mean,
we're gonna both go. So just go. You got the pepper sauce. I'm not happy.
I've had it before, which is why I'm apprehensive.
Rob Jones, I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy about this.
I mean, go big or go home.
Go big or go home. Oh, that's sad. That's bad. Let me smell it. Is it like the bomb?
I mean, you got some. Put it on your wings, bud.
Oh, dude.
Put it on your wings. I mean, you ain't got to put a lot on there.
I'm going to because you did it.
That's not a lot. That's good.
That's good. That's enough, Luke. Luke, that's enough. It's gonna be okay, Luke. It's all good. It's a good day.
All right. Let's go.
Screw my life, man. Seriously. Hot sauce.
1, 2, 3, go. That's bad.
I hate Carolina Reaper, dude. I hate it. Oh, Rob Jones. No.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah, it is. It's awful.
I mean, it's not good.
I mean, why do people think that's good? It's not good.
I mean,
it's not good at all.
It's not like all heat, though. There's still like some flavor in there. That's good in like soups and stuff.
Not good on chicken.
I'm
gonna eat all of it. Sorry for the dragon orders. Sorry to say. That was awful. That's a sin.
I didn't eat all mine.
If you die and go to hell, that stuff's there.
You need a breather before we move on?
MoveOn.org. If you're just joining us, I've just ate one of the hottest wings, third hottest wing. It's called
Black Garlic Carolina Reaper.
God bless America.
Yeah, it's funny that you talked about what's his face? Ed Curry.
Ed Curry, yeah.
Because this number 9 is the classic hot sauce Pepper X edition.
Yeah.
Pepper X, bred over the course of a decade by famed pepper farmer Smokin' Ed Curry of Pucker Butt Pepper Co.
Mm-hmm.
Pepper X is the enigmatic powerhouse behind the last stab, known for bringing stars and immortals alike to tears. The earthly flavor of the pepper pairs perfectly with the elegant simplicity of the classic hot sauce, which was number 2 that we did.
Yeah.
So,
it looks like it's the same bottle, but it's not. It's not the same bottle.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Luke. I tasted this one without knowing it was Pepper X when I first got it. I haven't tried it since because it scares me, to be honest
It
with you.
scares me too, Rob. I'm not happy about this. I mean, we were talking about Star Wars, and now we're talking about, was it Rustafar, that planet? Mustafar?
Oh, Mustafar. Before we move on, so
Mustafar, the planet?
Mustafar,
the planet,
which is the planet that in Episode 3 is where Obi-Wan cut the limbs off of Anakin and left him to die. Which is also the same planet where Anakin built or Darth Vader built his temple.
Which is also the same sauce and what the same sauce is going to do to us.
Yes, it is.
We won't have any more limbs or arms, or
We'll feel like we're there.
we'll be dead.
But at the, as you saw in Episode 3, it was all molten lava planet. The very first scene that you see on The Last Jedi, or The Rise of Skywalker, is Kylo Ren fighting his way through this group of aliens or whatever. And they're actually on Mustafar. You wouldn't know it because there's so much trees and stuff that are there. This looks completely different. Mustafar used to be a very green planet, covered in life. And then something happened. There was a war. People think that it might have been the Wookiees that came.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this object called the Bright Star. And the Bright Star is what gave life to Mustafar.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bright Star ended up being used by Lady Corvax.
Yeah.
Because her husband was killed in the war, to try to bring her husband back. And that's what caused the planet just to erode upon itself and to blow up. So in the new video game, which is canon, Luke's Darth Vader. He's in the dark side cave that's underneath his castle. He's looking for the Bright Star. The Bright Star is found by another Jedi who's of the same bloodline of Lady Corvax. Uses it, and over time, life began to come back to the planet.
Yeah, but there's no life on the planet. The planet's a freaking
But it wasn't before.
Fire.
It wasn't before. It was very green, and that's because of the Bright Star. And so when the Bright Star was used... Now, this took place probably 5 to 6 years after Anakin became Darth Vader, so he was still a young Darth Vader. So over the course of 35, 40 years, you start to see that there is some life coming back to the planet, and it's not all molten lava. And if you look closely in the background, you can see the ruins of Darth Vader's temple. Or his castle.
On what movie?
The Rise of Skywalker.
You can see the ruins.
Yeah. And it's in the very background behind the trees. You can, if you were to pause it, you can see some ruins back there. So they actually are on Mustafar.
What part of the movie?
It's the first one where you see Kylo going through and slicing people down.
Yes.
You see trees that appear to be on fire. That's still Mustafar.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's undergoing a change because
he's trying to find that thing.
Because in the Star Wars game that came out, the Bright Star was found, it was released, and the planet's beginning to heal itself. So.
Oh, got it.
All right, let's hop into it. Let's do this one.
Rob Jones, I'll be honest with you. If that's Pepper X, this is not as hot as that.
This is also Pepper X.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Hold on. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's actually not as hot as that one. Okay, go ahead.
But this one's thicker, which is why it scares me more.
Yeah,
it's thicker.
Things we do for views.
Things we do for likes.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
And share.
Thank you. Dude, that was a lot, man. Dude, are you crazy? Dude,
this is a hot sauce challenge.
I hate my life right now.
Now you can roll it around and let it just kind of go over the whole. That's more than I put on, bud. And you ain't gotta eat the whole wing. Just get your big old bite of it.
Dude, I gotta eat the whole thing because I'm gonna be turned up.
Well, I got like none over here though. So
we put some more on it.
Nah, we're good.
Rob Jones, was it that bad? How bad is it, Rob Jones?
Take a bite and find out, partner.
Grab a bite and pinch. Oh man, not happy about it.
It's like a Band-Aid, just ripping it off.
Yeah, I got some in my mouth, man. That's part of my gum. Yuck. Dude, screw me, man. Mouth noises. I could be a voice actor.
You got a face for radio, partner.
My name is Lucas Thornton, and I'm about to eat the hottest pepper in the world. Are you ready for this? Let's go. Oh, God. Oh, dude. No.
Right off the bat, it hits you.
No. Oh, in the words of Darth Vader, no.
That was really good. Transported me back to Revenge of the Sith.
Does he go? No. Did I just peak that audio terribly? Let me back it off a little bit. I can do it again. Oh! Rob Jones. Dude. Nope. Dude. Oh. Rob Jones. Dude, screw this. Dude, screw this.
Sounds hot.
Rob. Oh man.
You know, we talked about those tears at the beginning of the show.
I can't do this, man. I can't do this. I can't do this.
Let's just go ahead and move on to the last one.
Dude, I can't. Hold on. Escape hatch. 1 second.
Lucas Thornton, ladies and gentlemen. Taking a lap. Star Wars, Wings, and Tears. And Lucas Thornton.
Dude, I can't handle that. That is awful.
Hit me with some of that chocolate milk.
Yeah, man.
Partner.
Anytime.
This is for the last one. That's good.
Anything for you, man. Dude, I can't do it, man. It's hot.
You ain't gonna let me do the last one by myself, are you?
Dude, I can't do it. Dude, that's hot, man. Dude, that's so hot. Dude.
What's the pepper that they use in the bomb that we just have to skip?
Huh? I'm not eating that crap. I'm not eating that. Dude, I'm sick, man. Oh, goodness, man. Oh. Dude, that is... You have to give me a second. I can't...
Walk it off, bud.
I can't do it. Oh. I'm gonna go get me some. I'll be right back, okay?
Hey, go grab us a couple out of the fridge.
Okay.
I need to make note of something I just realized, y'all. As we're doing a show on Star Wars, we have a Luke Thornton drinking out of a Star Trek glass. Cardinal sin, y'all. Cardinal sin. Whew, he thought that one was bad. So Knights of Ren, how about that? You know, people think that Kylo Ren, he got the Ren part of his name was actually part of his name, like that's part that he chose. It's not. Ren is more of a I would say a title like Darth or Lord. It's more of a way in understanding. After Anakin brought balance to the Force because he was the chosen one by throwing Palpatine down the reactor shaft of the Death Star 2 in Return of the Jedi. He did kill Palpatine and it restored balance to the Force. But because there was no real Sith left, you can't just have balance by having light here and dark here, or vice versa. You gotta have balance, equal parts. And you have Luke Skywalker that was training a new class of Jedi. The Knights of Ren came to fill that void on the dark side while there was no real Sith to take place. Ren is more of a dark side faith, dark side belief that whatever they consume or whatever they burn, they're not concerned with the right or the wrong of it. It just is what it is, or it's its nature and nothing else. So he took that as a part of his name, Kylo Ren. Whatever he does. It's of its nature. He's not concerned with the right and the wrong of it. And then also I want to talk about Palpatine. In Rise of Skywalker, he does say that he has died. I'm going to wait till Luke gets in here and talk about that, because we have different theories there. Otherwise, I'm going to continue to sit here and have tears streaming down my face and be afraid to touch them with my pepper fingers. Pepper fingers. Pepper fingers. Oh! Just hanging out, y'all. Camera 1. Camera 2. GoPro. I'm gonna get up and go find this cat. Where'd you go, bud?